We're back on this Friday night, 8 p.m. Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. It is We Just Know Sports Show. I'm Greasy the Don and the historian, Juice Man, the Boogie on the highlights, TV the Pole Man on assignment, and King Dre is on vacation.
Permanent vacation.
Permanent vacation. Get him up out of here, man. Everybody got time for all that. But anyway, how's it going, fellas? How's it going?
Man,
Doing
a
well,
beautiful
man.
night. Beautiful
Doing
night.
well.
It is. It
Can't
is.
complain.
Man, it's Friday night. Wake up in the morning, college game day, League Corso. You can tune in, like I said, where we are. Slide on over to their YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch the replay or rerun it back again. Share it with all your friends. You know what I'm saying? If your friends don't like it, share it with a stranger. Y'all know what time it is. Like I said, Just North Sports Show. And Saturday, man, I think it's going down. We got two S.E.C games, rivalries. One of them's the old Southwest Conference rivalry. I know me and Juice being Texas, Marcus migrating from Cali. That old Southwest Conference on Raycom, man. Channel 2 with the antenna. He had to get the coat hanger and put it on the back, and Texas A&M and all those boys, and it was that Bucky Richardson and all them taking on E.D. Jackson,
Man.
Steve Atwater, and all them boys.
Glory days.
The glory days, man. They gonna run that back, but that's in Jerry World. And then got an old S.E.C rivalry. I'm glad to see the Tennessee Vols making a return. Old Peyton Manning, T. Martin in those days, Leonard Little, Jamal Lewis, Peerless Price, man, Reggie White. Man,
Right.
Warful, man. Just Riddell Anthony, Javon Kirsch, Fred Taylor, man. Just think of some of the names that have played in this game. Tim Tebow, and Percy Harvin, some of the names that just run.
I'm about to make y'all mad. Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, that's what I'm saying. He went way back. He went way back. That was right after Reggie White. And just some of those names. So the SEC is rolling right into October, and that means we're gonna see some of these just gritty, dirty, just down south, nasty, old school rivalries, man. And then in the NFL, you got Buffalo. They coming down south in the humidity in September. They're gonna be taking on Tua and the new 1984 Dolphins, Clayton, Hill, and Waddle, and they got a crowd team out there. And then we got the San Francisco 49ers, and the young man Trey Lance got hurt, out for the season. So Jimmy G taking over, and they're gonna be taking on Russell Wilson in another version, Rocky Top West. They're gonna be traveling to Invesco in that altitude. So let's jump right into it, fellas. Man, what y'all think about it?
Are we gonna do college first?
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
It don't matter to me, man. How you feeling?
Man. To be
Go
honest,
on, start with the A&M. Go on, Juice.
To be totally honest, man.
You want to go there? We know we do.
A&M was lucky, man, to get the win last week, man, against Miami. And y'all know how much I root for the Aggies, man. But simply put, the Canes beat themselves with penalties and miscues. They could have kept running the ball and controlled the line of scrimmage if they had been more committed to the run. Both running backs, Paris Jr. and Knighton, they combined for 162 yards. However, the Aggies defense, I think they played their hearts out. The offense made a few plays, but still, the offense needs work going forward. Anaya Smith and Devon A-Chain, they were difference makers. And I think what was more impressive is that they were undermanned. They had like 4 or 5 guys, well 4 guys, 2 on defense and I think 2 on offense that were they didn't get to play because of some off the field issues. But stuff like that can't happen, man. You just can't. As far as Arkansas is concerned, I mean they always play A&M tough. Seems like every year. That quarterback Jefferson, I mean he's kind of like in the mode of a Cam Newton. When I watch him play,
Juicy
Um,
kind of remind me a little bit of Jamarcus Russell. I ain't talking about Raider Jamarcus Russell, but that
okay,
his stature and size
okay,
remind the biggest, fastest dude.
right,
Uh,
right, right.
got
Yeah,
all the intangibles.
yeah, yeah. I think for this particular game, it's gonna be tight all the way through. But I really think A&M can rally around him and try to contain Jefferson because I mean I really don't see too many weapons at his disposal. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's gonna pretty much be a home game for us. Being in Texas. So I'm gonna give the edge to A&M. It's gonna be close though. I'm gonna go A&M 31 and Arkansas 27.
Okay.
Okay,
31,
that's
27. You see A&M putting up that many points?
Yeah,
Let me,
yeah, I do. I do. I do.
let me piggyback off that and give my prediction. So Miami shot themselves in the foot, but on the other hand, I like what Cristobal is doing. He's building a good defensive line. They kept the defensive line fresh and they rotated. And Tom Landry invented the 4-3. Jimmy Johnson and morphed it and kind of tinkered with it, and it turned into an attacking 4-3. And Howard Schnellenberger and those guys, they recruited heavily for defensive linemen. So they have the offensive line and held up pretty good. A&M actually looked like the wrecking crew of some of those old highlights we saw. They got after it. Miami was missing the Michael Irvin and the Andre Johnson and the Clinton Portis in the backfield. But up front, they held their own
Hmm.
against the SEC team. So I'm kind of satisfied. Like I said, I think the Hurricanes are 2 years away. Last year, KJ Jefferson and Arkansas, they were able to basically run Cam Newton, read draw, lead draw all day long, and them never adjusted and them lost this year. I'm going Texas A&M with this one. I think they learn from the App State loss. They leave a lot to be desired as far as on the offensive end, but getting rid of King and going with Johnson was a start. HA and some of the other offensive playmakers that they have going to be a little bit too much. Arkansas was in a little bit of a dogfight. They kind of jumped out to a big lead last week, kind of barely hung on in the waning moments. Score was a lot. Well, the margin of defeat was a lot bigger than the score indicated. Arkansas is not really playing defense the way I thought they would. I'm gonna go A&M with this one. I'm gonna go Aggies 23. I'm gonna go Razorbacks 14 in this one.
oh, ooh, Doc, you just you don't think Arkansas gonna get off the mat, but I want to start with A&M first. It's almost like something is missing. I haven't seen that complete ball game yet.
Right.
Uh, whether it was week one or week two with App State or last week, I haven't seen that complete ball game, and I'm kind of concerned. Is this going to be the telltale story all season long? And eventually, what you get away with in the beginning uh, will become your demise in the end. Uh, I think it'll still be a big game coming up in Alabama. The Razorbacks, on the other hand, they they've uh, they've shocked me. I didn't expect this from Arkansas. They lost their number one receiver to Tennessee, but this guy, he just I love the running back out the backfield for Arkansas. I think I'm going to go with the Razorbacks. I got some
Uh-oh.
peeps out there.
Uh-oh.
Uh, Coach Walker up there. Got the people up there in Fayetteville. I think I'm gonna ride with the Razorbacks in this one. I think A&M, with the Miami team that wasn't quite there, the App State, that shouldn't have happened. Now we get into the meat potatoes of the schedule,
Right.
and it's time to eat. And I don't think A&M is ready for the appetizer. Well, they weren't ready for the appetizers. I don't think they're ready for the main course. I like Arkansas in this one. I like
Okay.
Arkansas 31, A&M 20.
Okay. He's going Arkansas with the double-digit victory out there in Jerry's World. Juice Man, I was just to kind of backtrack on your point. Arkansas travels well. Fayetteville is like, what, not too far away from
I
Dallas.
think about 2 hours, maybe
Fayetteville to
two and a half.
Fayetteville, for Fayetteville to Dallas, you're looking at 4.5, maybe 5.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about Little Rock. My bad. I'm thinking about
Yes,
Little Rock.
yeah. Fayetteville's a little bit further up, headed towards West Helena and all that good stuff. But Arkansas travels well, and if you look at the history, just last couple of years when they do play, it's kind of like 50-50. Like I said, old school Southwest Conference rivalry. But I'm gonna roll with A&M on this one. And King Drake is on vacation, but is in the IM. And talking about can the Aggies handle the passing attack? I see another. You thought he was on vacation. What is all this? You see what I'm talking about?
He fired. He fired, Doc.
I'm talking about
He fired.
But anyway, he said he sees another close game. This time for the Aggies, it goes the road team's way. He's saying Arkansas 28-21. So we got 2 Pig Suey and 2 Gig'em. But we're gonna keep this thing on pushing. We're gonna stroll right along. Another S.E.C rivalry. His goes all the way back. He said Emmitt Smith, Reggie White, just some of the names that we had at the beginning of the show. Man, just Vols Gators, Peyton Manning, man, Javon Curse, Warfel, Tim Tebow. Man, it's just so much in that one, and it's a lot of orange. And I'm partial to Tennessee, maybe just because I think Rocky Top is probably top 2, 3 fight songs in the nation.
Oh, come
I
on,
just
Doc.
dig it. I know
Come
the
on,
lyrics.
Doc.
Hey, don't
No,
judge,
it's nice, man. I
don't
agree.
judge me. I know the lyrics and everything. And if Tennessee wins, I might sing it next week. So y'all be sure to hit that subscribe button, y'all. I might sing it next week. So you sing it off. But that is my pick. That is my pick, and I just like what Josh Heupel has been able to do with the offense. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that defense, they giving them up as fast as they put them up, so that kind of concerns me. But he's bombs away, and he learned under Stoops in Oklahoma how to run that offense. Florida, they let me down. I was thinking the defense, the way they got out to Utah, would be able to keep that momentum, and they would be able to get out to Kentucky, and the Wildcats just wasn't having it, so they shut all that down. Is Florida going to rebound? They could be hungry, but I picked the Vols at the beginning of the year, and I really don't have a reason why, but I picked them at the beginning of the year to dethrone Georgia in the SEC East. Probably going to be wrong, but I'm sticking with my guns. This one's in Rocky Top, and I think it's going to be a long night for them Gators, long afternoon. This is 2:30 kickoff, so by the time it get dark out there in the Eastern Hills, it's going to be Rocky Top all the way. Give me Rocky Top 28. Give me Gator Bait and the Gainesville Boys 21.
Mm, mm.
And that's just because I picked Tennessee to win the East. I was going about anything else.
You know what, Doc? I really don't know. When I'm watching Florida for the past 2 seasons, I don't know what this is out there.
Me either.
I really do not know. Like you said 2 weeks ago, I think we was all on board.
Yeah.
With Florida getting the dub, we got them down there in the swamp. Ride, chomp, chomp, get them Gators. And Lord, the wheels fell off. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm a roll. I'm a roll with the Vols in this one. They playing solid ball. They was playing solid ball last season. But these Gators, it's just too inconsistent. I don't know. Maybe it's the coaching. Maybe it's the culture. I don't know. I like the Vols big in this one. I like them big in this one. Let me get Tennessee 45, Florida 24. I ain't about to play. I ain't playing no more.
Ooh, man.
I'm tired, Doc.
Repeat.
Tired, Juice.
Go ahead again. Say it again.
45-24.
45-24. And I agree. Like Florida, they just inconsistent, man. Like I thought, okay, they couldn't do a little something. Not so fast. Didn't happen. But so we got 2 rolling with the Vols down there in Tennessee. We got 2 of them. Juice Man, what it do?
Man, I'm I'm kind of with you, Jones, as far as this rivalry, man.
Mm,
I'm glad that you know Tennessee. It looks they look to be on the rise.
right.
Josh Heupel is a great offensive mind, and
He is.
all he needs to do now is fix that defense, and they'll officially be
Yeah,
back.
they'll be ready.
And as far as Florida, I mean, I think they're going through an identity crisis. They don't know what they don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they are, and
Wow.
their quarterback he's shown flashes, but he's mostly a runner. He's still not very consistent at throwing the ball, and they don't really have a lot of playmakers on the offense. I mean, their
Nope.
defense is always going to keep them in games, but
Okay.
this game being in Knoxville, I'm giving the edge to the Vols as well. I think it'll be close. Um, all pretty much all the way through, but I think they'll Tennessee will take care of business at the end. I'm
Juice
gonna
man, you
say
know this game ain't gonna be close. Go on,
I'm
call it what it is.
no, no,
Put
no,
do
no,
the
no. I think
almighty.
no, no, no. I think it's gonna be close just because Florida's defense is still you know they're still solid. It's the offense that's the problem. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Vols 31 and Florida 23.
That's
Okay,
what's up.
okay.
That's what's up. King Dre and I am. He's got the balls over the Gators 34-24. He's got them by 10 in Knoxville. So that's a clean sweep. Nobody's rolling with the Gators on this one. And they disappointed. So they don't need
We did
they,
that last
yeah.
time.
Like everybody put their money on them like we all picked them like clean sweep. They're gonna take care of business in Kentucky. Kentucky went in there and put an L on all of our columns. If you haven't, check us out on the Facebook page that is DJ Snore Sports Show. We got live updates on the standings, all that good stuff. You can see where we are in college pick'ems and in the NFL pick'ems. We might have to have a little contest, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and jump on in here and pick against the experts because we pretty good in here. We clown around, but for the most part, somebody gonna hit it nail on the head. Somebody gonna hit the nail on the head. But anywho,
I
the
think it's gonna be
NFL
45-24.
45-24. I'm telling you, it might be 45-24. But anywho, we gonna keep this thing pushing and moving right along as King Dre is in the IM again. He already dropping his predictions for the NFL. We haven't even gave in any analysis or anything. He's saying that off the rip, he likes both teams, Buffalo and Miami, which is the first game we're going to jump into. But he wants to get his picks in. He's saying he's going with the defense. He thinks that the Bills have the better defense so far. And in a close one, he's going Bills to win this one 34-28. But low key, I like Miami. No, no. See, that's what I be talking about. How you gonna say the Bills? Well, just you want to pick Miami. See, that's what he do, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't listened to anybody else, I encourage you all to go back and listen to our March Madness show last year. He had like 12 teams he thought that was going to the Final Four. And he got like 15 brackets. Of course, you're gonna hit one of them, but that's
Nah, now look, now one hit.
and now what I'm here. But that's our boy, man. That's our boy. That's what King Dre. That's what he do. He's on vacation. If you hadn't seen Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy was talking to Sergeant Taggart, he was telling him he was on vacation. So that's what King Dre is. But he steady want to work. Juice man, what do you think about this game right here, Buffalo and Miami?
Ah, man, I think this is gonna be uh, one of the most exciting games of the weekend.
Hmm.
Um, Miami, they've got so much speed at the skill positions. Tua looks like he's made huge strides as far as improving his overall game.
Right.
I still think the offense can still get better if they sprinkle in some runs, get more consistent in the run game. The defense is solid, but Buffalo, man, they're on another level, man. They look like they're destined to win the whole thing, win the AFC
Ain't
East and
happening,
go to
Juice.
the Super Bowl. I mean, they're
Ain't
just
happening.
they're stacked in both positions. I mean, offense and defense. I mean, Josh Allen is playing like an MVP. Stephon Diggs looks like he's the best receiver in the league. Um, their running game is solid too. That defense is just ridiculous and nasty. Um, but for this game, is it's gonna be in Miami, correct, or in
Yeah.
Buffalo?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Um, you know what, man? I'm gonna have to give the edge to Buffalo, just because of their defense. Uh, Von Miller is great at getting to the quarterback. They've got two great safeties in Micah Hyde and Poyer. Their corners are good.
Right.
I'm gonna give the edge to Buffalo. It's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna say Buffalo 38
Ooh.
and
It's a lot of
Miami
Point.
28.
points.
38-28.
38, 28. Ugh, man.
That's a
Sorry.
lot of points, Juice
We got,
man.
we got
Yeah.
two rolling with Buffalo on this one. Two of
Yeah.
them.
Mm,
Yep.
mm.
Don't shake it up for him, Breezy. Tell him what's on your mind one time, baby boy.
Well, the thing about it, these quarterbacks, their numbers are similar. Almost to a T, whether it's the 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, Allen 614 to 739. But the Bills are favored in this game. And one key stat, the Bills have beaten the Dolphins 7 straight times.
Hmm.
That is oof. But before this season started, I think Doc said it that the Dolphins. I had picked the Patriots to challenge. Doc had picked the Dolphins to challenge, and it's something that Doc saw that I didn't see. Uh, like he said, Marino Duper Clayton
Hmm.
2.0 or 3.0, however you want to call it.
Part two.
Like I always say, good things must come to an end. I know you won 7 straight. I know you riding high. You beat up on the Rams team that was on the Super Bowl hangover. Tennessee, I mean, hey, let's go 8 in the box and let's shut down Derrick Henry. That's what that is.
That's it.
This Miami team,
Hmm.
no, no. And Mr. Tyreek Hill is very familiar with the Bills.
Yes.
Very familiar. I think I'm going to take Miami in this one, fellas.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Dolphins out there in South Florida with the Heat. And,
Yep.
the defense is, I mean, they beat up on a good Raven team. They came back.
Yep.
That showed resilience to never quit.
Yep.
Week 1, they took care of their business against the Belichick teams are by far no slouch. Period. They're no slouch, especially on the defensive side. I think I like Miami in this one, fellas. I'm gonna go with Miami 24. Let me get Buffalo 21.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be nippy tough. I'm not saying they're gonna blow the doors off, but I'm gonna stand with Jones, Doc Jones. Doc saw some in these Dolphins when we did our preview show, and it's weighing dividends. So I think I'm gonna ride with the Dolphins.
Man, you took
Okay.
we got excellent analysis. The brother took the words right out of my mouth. It is 7 in a row, and it's late September. The humidity could be a factor. What I like about Miami is the change of culture, and sometimes leaders have a hard time admitting when they're in the wrong. They got ugly down there with Flores and all that good stuff. And your coach doesn't have to be best friends with your quarterback, especially in today's time. But you got to realize he's the quarterback, and they didn't put all that stock into him for nothing. So whatever happened between them, it happened, and Flores is no longer there. We know he's got a lawsuit going on, all that good stuff. But sometimes a change in leadership is necessary, and the Dolphins are riding high. Now, that Baltimore game last week, there were bombs, big plays. I mean, it looked like NFL. Baltimore jumped out to a big lead. And I'm like, Lamar Jackson is showing out. This is contract year. He's going to do his thing. And then all of a sudden, like Greasy said, Hill and Waddle went Clayton and Duper 1984 on them boys. You looked up and it was just bomb after bomb after bomb. Baltimore doesn't have the defense. I think a lot of people still, when they think Baltimore, they think Ray Lewis, Saragusa, Ed Reed, Chris McAllister, Stark, Sam Adams, those guys, T. Suggs, those guys are no longer there. Baltimore's giving up a lot of points. J.K. Dobbins is coming back. They sorely need another running back. I love Lamar Jackson. I want the brother to get his bread. I think he deserves every bit of $300 million guaranteed.
He not getting
it. He said he's not getting it. I think he deserves all of it. But they're going to get Lamar Jackson hurt. They got to get some stops. They got to get some running game going because there's only so much he can exert without eventually it taking a lick or just, attrition taking over and he ends up getting hurt. And this is his contract here, so he's going to try to show that he's worth all that. They need some defense. I think they had Pierre Paul in for a couple of workouts. Couldn't come together with a contract agreement. I don't know what's up with that, but they need a pass rush. They need a lot on the defensive end. They got a couple of playmakers on the outside. He's looking for Andrews. But in this particular one, I'm just riding the Dolphins. I think they get it done. Buffalo's a real deal. I like Buffalo. I'm in love with Buffalo. I like Josh Allen. I like Stephon Diggs. I like Von Miller. Secondary's on point. They play tough in the middle. They're going to put up some points. Miami going to put up some points. I think Miami has a better overall defense than Tennessee. I don't expect Buffalo to put up 41. I'm leaning more in the South Florida humidity. Give me the Dolphins and give me 4 points. I'm going to go Dolphins 28. I'm going to go Bills 24. And that's going to split that ball game pick'em section of the show right down the middle, 2-2. I like the Dolphins. I'm riding the Dolphins. And like me and Greasy was talking about last year, Baltimore's going to mess around, and they're not even going to win the division. It's something about Baltimore. It looks like, okay, they do good. They start off 2-0 or whatnot, or, whoop-de-woo, and, they should be 2-0 for all intents and purposes. And last year they started off, 3-0, 4-0. And then they lost a game, and then they won a game, and then they kind of lost two more. And around week 7, then Greasy started looking at each other and said, if they keep playing, Cincinnati is going to win that division. And lo and behold, they did. And if you look up, they're 1-1. The Steelers are 1-1. The Browns are 1-1. And the Bengals are 0-2. So it's still wide open. So if Baltimore don't get it together, they're going to end up losing that division. But that's neither here nor there. Kind of got off topic a little bit, but this is going to take us to the Sunday night game before we wrap this thing on up. Jimmy G jumping in for the injured Trey Lance. Young man got hurt. We'll have a whole nother discussion on Kyle Shanahan and all that. He's a good play caller and he's a good coach, but you don't have design runs for the number 2 overall draft pick. Just let him do some Jake Plum. Put him in a rollout situation where he can manipulate the pocket. Like, you didn't ask Jake Plummer to do this. Is the thing I don't understand about Shanahan. You have design runs for RG3 and Trey Lance, but you didn't have them for Matt Ryan and Jake Plummer, and Kyle Orton put up 4,000 yards in a Shanahan system. So I'm having a real hard time understanding why you feel like it's necessary to design runs when your offense is complicated but simple. But anyway, they're going to slide out west, and they're going to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. That should be a good one, Sunday night game. Broncos not looking as dominant as I thought they would. It's going to take some time. I know Jerry Jeudy had a rib injury. It's going to take some time. The defense leaves a lot to be desired. But that's Sunday night's game. What about it?
I want to jump into this. I'm going to start off with the Broncos. This head coach, and this staff has absolutely no clue. Texas have 4th and forever. We don't even have a returner out on the field. What's going on, fellas? Let's call a timeout. You burn up timeouts, poor clock management. I don't know how many the left games I've seen against the Texans, fellas. I mean, I get it. You got Russell Wilson, but as I stated, new management, new coaches, new system. It started week one. I understand it's only been 2 games. Week one, Geno Smith.
Hmm.
Even Vegas had that as a lock. Broncos gonna roll out and get a dub. No, the Seahawks put it on you. And Houston should have put it on the Broncos last week, but Houston kept shooting themselves in the foot, and the Broncos escaped with a victory. Now, here come the 49ers, um, a bona fide Super Bowl contending team. Out of 5 quarters Trey Lance played this year, 15 of 31, 48%,
Mm,
194 yards, and an interception.
mm,
That's 5 quarters of football.
mm,
Jimmy G, 3 quarters, 13 to 21, 62% pass completion, 154, and a touchdown. I like Jimmy G in this situation because he's familiar with this. Um, they were right there last year. Could have easily made the Super Bowl. They were right there. This 49er team is not like the Seahawks. They just punched the Seahawks in the mouth Sunday, last Sunday. They should have punched Chicago in the mouth,
mm.
but due to weather, I think this game. Look, the Broncos aren't that good. I mean, it is what it is out there. The 49ers are that good. I think me and Juice talked off air. Kittle's coming back. I like the Niners big in this one. I'm going to go 49ers 31, uh, Broncos 10.
Okay.
Mm.
That's it. I mean, Russ, Bosa already 3 sacks. So it's gonna be bad out there. I don't. It's gonna. I not that bad, but we gonna see that. All that hype out there in Mile High, it's just hype. The right coaches aren't in place. And I'm gonna pass this thing to Juice Man. I know Juice Man want to get in here and say a little something, something.
Man, it's very unfortunate what happened to Trey Lance. Um, however, it's good. I think it's could be a blessing in disguise. I mean, you got a backup that's played a lot of football. Say what you want about Jimmy G. We know that he's not an elite thrower of the football, and he's not the most athletic. What Jimmy G is and has always been is a game manager.
That's
The,
it.
the, the Niners still have good pieces on offense around him. They still have a very good defense behind them. And as for Denver, it seemed like this game is like a must win despite them being 1-1.
Right.
Um, Russell Wilson still wants to prove that he can lead a team into the postseason and ultimately to a Super Bowl, but it appears that there's some issues surrounding the coaching staff. Like they've shown some incompetence as far as like managing the game and making some questionable decision making. I mean, whatever's going on, they got to fix that. I mean, Russell Wilson didn't come to Denver for that. Broncos, they have some pieces on offense too, and a defense that can compete. But in this particular matchup, I think the Broncos they've got some injury concerns. You know, Jones, you mentioned about Jerry Judy with his ribs. KJ Hamler's questionable. Pat Surtain, he's got a shoulder issue. So I think the Niners are going to. I mean, they've got injuries too. George Kittle is questionable, but I think he'll play. Their best corner, Jimmy Ward, has a hamstring, and then their running back Elijah Mitchell, he's been out with a knee.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I think Jimmy G will make the right decisions with the football, get the ball to Debo Samuel early and often, and I think their defense will get after Russell Wilson. And so I got the Niners in a close game, 26-20.
King Drake chimes in. He's in the IM right now, and he says the Broncos just aren't that great. 49ers
Mm-hmm.
31 and the Broncos 17.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's like everybody's clean. It's like we got what's up? Everybody's running the mill on this, and excuse me, stumbling all over my words. So we got three with the Niners. So I pretty much gave my analysis or whatever on what I think is going on. 49ers, they will get after it defensively. Bosa and those guys up front, they're going to create some pressure. Russell Wilson does take a lot of sacks. Just his style. He's going to try to hold on to the ball as long as he can, looking for the big play. He can still deliver the big play, throwing deep. I think he's still working on his chemistry with Sutton and some of the other weapons. Jerry Judy's out. Lots of speed missing with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the 49ers defense. I'm in love with the 49ers defense. And Jimmy G is just what Jimmy G is. He's a game manager. He's not going to beat you. He's not going to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he's not going to wow you with that. What he is a game manager, and what he is a winner. And the team supports him. I think maybe Trey Lance is typical second-year player. You've got to earn your stripes. So do the Trent Williams and the Debos and those guys on the team, do Fred Warner, do they really ride for him? I'm pretty sure they do. But Jimmy G, he's been through the wars with him. There's something about camaraderie and knowing that, okay, this is what we have to do to win with the quarterback. And the 49ers, let's just be honest, they're winning in spite of Jimmy G, not because of him. Let's make that clear. In spite of Jimmy G, not because of him. I watched the game last week. Trey Lance gives him a 3-0 lead. They get a turnover. They kick a field goal. Jimmy G didn't move the ball. They get another sack. Team goes 3 and out. They get the ball back to the offense. Seattle goes 3 and out again. Oh, no, I think they got a turnover. Jimmy G throws a 30-yard touchdown. This is 6 minutes in the first half. Jimmy G comes in and immediately drops a 30-yard touchdown bomb, and the Jimmy G fans are going crazy. And the bastard didn't move the ball until 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He passed interference, and he did a quarterback sneak and got it in. Hey, Mom, nice fantasy numbers. Look what I did today. But it's neither here nor there. Jimmy G is what Jimmy G is going to be. This one's in Mile High. Invesco, 7:20 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, let's make it a clean sweep. I'm on the Niners with this one. Elijah Mitchell's out for 2 months, but Jeff Wilson in. They got Tevin Coleman, Marlon Mack. One thing about Shanahan, he's going to keep some backs. That's why Raheem Mostert is out in Miami right now. And you remember he killed Green Bay in the 2019 NFC Championship. Almost had 200 yards rushing. But all running backs are replaceable in a Shanahan scheme, and it looks like running quarterbacks are as well. So that's going to be a clean sweep, and that's going to be a clean wrap-up for this show. Fellas, it's been a nice run, man. What y'all got up for tomorrow other than football?
Man, I'm just, I'm just gonna be preparing for, the next week, man. That's all. That's all I'm gonna be doing.
That's it. That's all we can do, man. Is prepare for the next week. What about it, Greasy?
Well, taking Just Noise to the next level as usual. Preparing for the shows and making it crisp and getting it out to the people that Just Noise Sports Show is something special. It's not your mom and dad's sports show or your brothers or little nephews podcast. I mean, it's something real, very knowledgeable.
Right.
The entire panel. No one could ever come on this show and debate us.
No.
And if anyone wants to come on, you know who you are.
Yeah.
This seat been waiting for you a long time. Come on with it.
It is. Like my man says, there's a lot of podcasts out there, but it's rare to see fellas come together that's been knowing each other for so long and just like, hey, bro, we do this. We've been doing this for years now. Let's just put it on. Let's put it on camera and let's record it and just see what it do. And it's been a success. It's been some bumps in the road and some learning curves, but we getting better at this thing, and we enjoy bringing it to you. We having fun doing this thing, but look out for big things. We ain't done just yet.
Hey, we just getting started,
We
man. We
just
just
getting
getting
Oh
started.
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
We just getting started. We just getting started. We gonna slide on up out of here. TB the Pole Man on the side with King Drake on vacation, but was able to
Both on
get
fire.
both
Both
of
on.
them
You
fired
heard it
on the
here
spot.
first.
But he was able to get his picks in. Juice Man, the boogie with the highlights, and Greasy the Don with the history and the insight. And I am Dr. Producer, but we all one team. Until then, keep it clean. This is the Just Going Sports Show. Check us every Friday night, 8 p.m. Anchor FM, Spotify,